I'm Ian Scotto. Welcome to Sentinel News. We're looking out for you, and you have to hear about what Tulsi Gabbard is saying related to documents that are going to be released about Russian interference or lack thereof Russian interference in the 2016 election. Here's absolutely everything that we know so far. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard is releasing a criminal referral related to claims that Russia interfered in the historic 2016 election, leading to the presidency of Donald Trump. Gabbard says that these documents show no evidence of any such election interference, but she does say that what is contained in them is nothing short of historic. Gabbard is claiming that at President Obama's request, leaders within the intelligence community were tasked with creating a new assessment tying the win to Moscow. These leaders include Susan Rice, James Clapper, John Kerry, and John Brennan. Brennan, along with James Comey, are additionally under investigation for potentially lying to Congress about such claims. Alex Jones, best known as a more conspiracy-minded political commentator, is reporting on this story but is alleging that in addition, there will be, quote, mind-blowing proof that former Vice President Mike Pence worked directly with the Obama administration in what he is calling a treasonous conspiracy against America. As you may remember, during her run for president, then as a Democrat in 2020, Gabbard was labeled a Russian asset by establishment foes in the party like Hillary Clinton. Gabbard, not only a former congresswoman, but a major in the Army Reserve with combat deployments, has continuously refuted such claims and labeled them a slap in the face to her military service and to all U.S. veterans who sacrificed for the country in which they serve. Back in 2019, Gabbard appeared on The View to combat some of these claims perpetuated by the Democrat establishment as well as the mainstream media. Here's some of that.
Well, look, the facts are important, and we'll get to that. I want to start with something that I think is also important about facts, because recently on your show here...
I was just going to get to that.
Good. Helping you out.
You want me to ask you the question?
No, look, some of you have accused me of being a traitor to my country, a Russian asset, a Trojan horse, or a useful idiot, I think was the term that you used. Which basically means that I'm naive or lack intelligence to know what's going on.
They use that.
I want to let your viewers know exactly who I am.
All right.
Set the record straight. I am a patriot. I love our country. I am a strong and intelligent woman of color, and I have dedicated almost my entire adult life to protecting the safety, security, and the freedom of all Americans in this country. It was the attacks on 9/11.
Gabbard was also suspiciously placed on the do not fly list following some of her criticism about the establishment within the DNC. For example, Gabbard was a delegate for Bernie Sanders in his 2016 presidential run in the primary against Hillary Clinton, whom Gabbard felt was wrongfully pushed out by forces within the party to undemocratically give the nomination to Clinton. Gabbard has since become a Republican, now working under Trump, and she seems to be using her position to fight back some of those that targeted her during her time in Congress and while running for the highest office. So this is just what we know so far. We're yet to see a lot of these documents, but we'll see what comes of it and keep you updated. I want to know what you think about some of these claims, especially the more mind-blowing, supposedly mind-blowing claims made by people like Alex Jones, which of course have to be viewed with a grain of salt. Alex Jones, of course, has been wrong on many things, but he's also been right on several things, despite being a very conspiracy-minded commentator. And I also want to know if you think that this story is more just a distraction from the bigger story right now of Jeffrey Epstein and Trump's longtime friendship with Epstein, and more of what's coming out about their ties together. Some people think this is just cover as that story is developing. I'd like to know what you think regarding all of it. Leave your comments below. And be sure to subscribe right here to Sentinel News. We're looking out for you. And if you want to click right here, here's more news that you need to know.